I am crushing making this web app. Yes, good morning, everybody. Yes, I'm crushing this web app. Yes, I'm crushing this web app. Yes, I'm making a masterful web app. Yes, I'm making a masterful web app. Yes, I'm making a masterful web app. Yes. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's switch off the lights and let's turn on the brain. Yeah, let's switch off the lights and let's turn on the brain. Yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, oh, me, yeah, 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 oh, me, yeah, yeah, oh, me, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, oh, me, yeah, yeah, oh, me, yeah, oh. Hey, yeah, 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 oh.
How this works. So look, sync with data source. We pick our source, Airtable for Jack Roberts. Table. Now, I just want to make this.
Ooh, meow, 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 yeah, 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 yo, me, yeah, yeah, yo, hey, yeah, yo, me, yeah, 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 yo. Hey ya 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 me ya 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 me ya ya. Hey ya ya me ya 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 me ya ya yo. Hey ya yo me ya 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 ya. Hey ya ya.
Because some of you will know this, but I just want to give you the conceptual framework of how this works. So look, sync with data source. We pick our source, Airtable. I want to give you the conceptual framework of how this works. So look.
Hey ya oh me ya 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 oh me ya 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 oh. Hey ya oh me ya 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 oh. Hey ya oh me ya 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 oh. Hey ya ya oh me 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 ya oh.
Sync with data source. We pick our source, Airtable for Jack Roberts. Come down. What do we call this one? We call this one the AIPT, right? Beautiful. We love that. And then it should let us choose the one that we want. It's going to be customers with the tab that you put your people in there. Look at this, guys. Map user fields. Look, map email, perfect. Name, Awesome. And then there's other options of things that you can do and blah, blah, blah. It's all really cool. And then we click save and sync. Okay, so let's just test that this has worked. So publish the changes. Let's go and preview it. So let's say we want to sign up. Now don't worry about the logic of the look of it just yet. If I say, hey, it's Bing, want to sign up. Now don't changes. Let's go and preview it. So let's say we want to sign up. Now don't worry about the logic of the look of it just yet. If I say, hey, it's bingbing77@outlook.com. Password is random, bing bong. I agree to the terms and conditions and I sign up, okay? Now, if this has worked successfully, we should see this record in Airtable. So let's see what's happened. We don't need to save these fake details. Let's go over to the AIPT and guys, almost by magic, bing bong 70 details. Let's go over to the AIPT and guys, almost by magic, Bing Bong 77 has appeared in our database, which is awesome and cool. So you've now connected together your database and your kind of like application, which I think is really cool and pretty sick actually. So we've done that, we've designed it. Now, what we want to do realistically is there's bits of work that we need to do on the homepage. There's bits of logic we need to set up. But what I want to start with is the creation of our new page. So, and it come down to add new page. Now, for the purposes of this, the way I want this to work is, this is the AIPT. So the AIPT has got several little AI applications, which when you're paying the subscription, you get access to. So we're gonna call this one body fat, and we'll call this one burn, just because it's a burn emoji like so, and then we click save. So this is our new body fat page, okay? And then we click, and we'll call this one burn, just because it's a burn emoji like so, and then we click save. So this is our new body fat page, okay? So what we want to do is just add a little bit of color to it to make it simple. So on the right hand side, we've got all these different blocks. So they all do various different things. So payment, for example, if you want to enable to pay on this page, but we'll do that on a different page. So I want you to click on static. Okay, we can look at hero, and we've got all of these different options here of things that we want. These ones are more suited for a kind of, they're kind of more suited for a homepage, if I'm honest with you. Realistically, the one that I want us to use is this feature with product I think where is it actually? It is this one here. Feature with vertical tab. So we add that in. Feature with product. Look, I think where is it actually? It is this one here. Feature with vertical tab. So we add that in, and look at this beautiful automation, guys. It syncs across nicely. So let's just alter some of the text a little bit. Just say, hey, your AI, just say, track your body fat the smart way. Awesome. And then just says, hey, upload your photos and get real-time analysis. Awesome. Okay. Beautiful. And obviously, guys, what we can do is customize these bits on the side. We can customize the images, the image URLs, all this sort of stuff is very configurable. What I would also say is on the style section, you can change padding and all this beautiful stuff and just make it as interesting as you want to. And then for think of these, the way that software works is in these blocks. So you'll pick a block, and crucially what you can do is set the visibility of that block. So you can say, I only want this to be visible for people who are logged in, or visible for people that are not logged in. And so say for example, I'm not signed up yet, does it make sense that I can check all the details of body fat? It probably doesn't, right? So we can say, no, I only want this to be viewable by logged in users. You can also create user groups. So when someone signs up and they've got a subscription, I can then also have here, and I will show you to do this in video. So it says, look, only show this to people that are paying. So we can actually lock off certain parts of our website for paying users. Now, hoping this makes sense. So don't worry if you've still got questions. I'm more than likely going to get to them. So, you know, you're doing a great job at this stage, so don't worry about it. Well, the first thing that I want us to do here, okay, is to enable the user to see some information about the photos that they've uploaded previously. Now, I'll do that when we build the automation, but what I want to show you initially is going to be the AI application itself and how you can design these incredible AI applications. If you haven't seen my video on that, by the way, please go and check that out, because if you haven't, it will be so valuable for you to see how that works. Okay, so what do? Let's say we add a new block, and what you're going to search for, guys, is code, like so. I'm going to do a custom code block. Dun, dun, dun. What is the custom code block? Well, I'm going to show you how you build these, and I'm going to show you the one that I built earlier. So we're going to head over to Claude, but before we do that, let's take off our progress, set theme, create a page, and we've only got three more steps, and you're basically rock and rolling. So Claude, let's go over there and build an example. So you would give Claude a prompt like this, like, hey, build blueprints. You basically select the file, click save, and the entire automation plan, click which is open and make scenario. And by the way, guys, if you want the full blueprint, so that all you ever have to do is come down
Hey ya ya oh me ya 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 oh. Hey ya oh me ya 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 oh. Hey ya oh me ya oh me ya oh me ya 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 oh me ya ya ya. Hey ya 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 oh. Hey ya ya oh me ya 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 oh. Hey ya ya oh me ya ya oh. Me ya 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 oh me ya ya oh. Hey ya yo me ya ya oh. Hey ya oh me ya ya oh. Hey ya oh me ya 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 oh. Hey ya oh me ya ya oh me ya ya oh. Ya oh ya oh. Hey ya 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 oh me ya oh me ya oh me ya oh me ya ya ya. Hey ya 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 oh. Hey ya oh me ya 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 oh.
And click
Hey
more,
ya
click
oh
import
me
to
ya
the prints, basically select the file,
ya
click save,
ya
and type automation populates for you straight away. Everything's doubled down below in School Community, so you can plug and play. We're also going to build it together step by step, so you know how to do that, but if you want to save time and get all the other resources and benefits, it's there for you. So what I want to do, okay, what I need you to do when you're building a web app is, essentially what we're saying is, look, we've up to work, which I'll show my old design for, just to illustrate this. Okay, now for this to work, what's going to happen is we have our website, okay, on Softer. Now it's basically going to link up to our make scenario, like so, okay, and make is going to reach over and grab information from our database in Airtable. And then once it finds that data, it's going to bring it straight back and display it for us in a beautiful, you know, design like this. And we're only going to get the data that's relevant for that particular user. How cool is that? So you could have like 1,000 records, but I only want it for like Tom Jefferson or whatever his name is, and this will pull back his specific results. So we know on day 1 he was 22.5%, but by day 8 he was 21.33%. So Tom gets to basically view his own unique body fat percentages. All that to say, to simplify it, we've got an application that can reach over to the database, grab the data for the user, and bring it back. Now, what it does is only limited by your imagination. So to do this though, we've got this scenario. Now what we need to do is kick off with a webhook, okay? So come down here, we're gonna go for webhook, like so. And I just wanna show you briefly how these applications work, and then you can
Latest on Saturday.
okay? So the
Quentin
custom
was
webhook,
super helpful,
we'll call this
man.
one, we'll
I
call
did
this
not
one, we'll call
know
this one.
that he was that much of a pro in these things. He's done all of that many times. I'm like, yo, what better mentor?
And
Awesome,
let's go
man.
for
So good.
beef body fat percentage, and we'll call this one 1 out of 2. And guys, where are we? You're gonna select send permission to this webhook. And just say, I want you to, let's say create a field. So just say like the look of that, for example. We come over, let's just screenshot that like so. I mean, this is literally why it's so cool, because it's not even just simple functions. It's like whatever you want, however you want it. So I copy that. I come back over to Claude. I'll say follow. Actually, let's just say this, right? Base it off the below design, right? And then hit enter. That will alert to Claude. We hit enter, and then Claude will basically develop for us a bespoke web generating. One little tip about it: it's absolutely fine. Sometimes Claude, which it has been doing very recently, just use ChatGPT. Like, it's absolutely specific code, which is awesome. So Claude is generating. One little tidbit I will say is if Claude is misbehaving, which it has been doing very recently, just use ChatGPT. Like, it's absolutely fine. Sometimes Claude gets a little bit precious about its code. So look, share your feelings, name, email, design. Now, I don't like the look of that. Just say, hey, the design is a bit lame. Please incorporate more, I don't know, fancy elements like the shown. Add complexity and depth. Just doing this. I did not, my last video on LinkedIn, I spent like an hour getting like the gradients right and making sure it was specific where it needed to be. So I put a high emphasis on that. I also think you're looking at your SaaS, design and positioning matter. They really do. Most businesses, most websites, their design's not great. Like their user journey's not great. If you just hit the basics, do the ABCs, and make it look good, they'll just infer all these other incredibly positive qualities about your brand. So I'd say it's worth doing that. Oh my gosh, the DeFi lab. This has gone way out of control. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna copy the other one because this is kind of irrelevant and we're off on a tangent if we were to keep on having that conversation. So you copy the code, come back over then to our beautiful website that we're developing. We've got a custom code. You pop it in the right hand side like that. Okay, now this is misbehaving a little bit, but I just want to show you that's basically how it works. So for the purposes of speed, I'll come back over here to our previous one like so. I'm gonna copy all this code. I'm gonna come back over to our website here. In that instance, by the way, if the code was misbehaving and it wasn't visible, just go back over to Claude and say, hey, it's changing the design of the page, or it isn't. Working, and Claude will then change the code. You can also say place it in a container, use that language if you find that it's interfering with the website, but oftentimes it's fine, and body tracker is fine. What we now want to do is change the webhook that this is using. So let's go back over to our initial design. Let's copy the address to a clipboard, come back over now to this. I'm going to Control F, type in EU2. Let's have a look, here we go, and let's copy all this thing here and delete. And paste this one in, and I think that's good. And just make sure there's no other reference to that, and there is not. Cool, sweet. And then publish, which is fine, like so. Now let's preview the page. Opens up into a new tab. We come down, we've got body fat percentage tracker, which is absolutely fine. So what do we do? Now this isn't gonna show anything, but we will see if it's successful. This will say determined structure. So all we're testing right now is that the information's been sent by the webhook. So let's go to this part of the page, type an email, let's just call it jasonbourne@outlook.com. Show me the magic, and do we have that that's come through? Which is absolutely reference to that. And paste this one in, and I think that's good. And just make sure there's no other reference to that, and there is not. Cool, sweet. And then publish, which is fine, like so. Now let's preview the page. Opens up into a new tab. tab, we come down, we've got body fat percentage tracker, which is absolutely fine. So what do we do? Now this isn't going to show anything, but we will see if it's successful. This will say determined structure. So all we're testing right now is that the information's been sent by the webhook. So let's go to this part of the page, type an email, let's just call it jasonbourne@outlook.com. Show me the magic, and do we have that that's come through? jasonbourne@outlook.com. Show me the magic, and do we have that that's come through? Hold on a sec. Run once, come back. Oh my goodness. Let's refresh the page. Jason Bourne, awesome. And would you believe it, guys? Jason Bourne's come through. So think about that. Any data you want is going to go from here straight back over there. So what you've done is you've got an application that will take the data and bring it straight back over. And when we build this automation out, what you'll find is that we can send data back once we access our database. So you have a webhook, right? Webhook response, and then in between these two things is Airtable. So webhook comes in, requests data, we grab it from Airtable, and then we send it straight back over so the user can actually observe it and use it. Guys, I'll also put the code down for this body fat percentage tracker for you if you want to, just so that you can use this as a basis with your conversation with Claude, just to help you get there a little bit faster. So I'll put that down below in the description for you as well. Now, let's have a look at this. So we built our AI web app, which we've just done. We've added it into Softer. So basically we've now got Softer, we've got AI web app. We've not done all the finalities with the design pages and stuff, but we want to do the automation bit, and then we'll kind of dot our I's and cross our T's. Now, we need to design essentially two things in Make: a computer vision dashboard and an AI graph application. So what am I talking about with that? So scenario 2, okay, is just how we, in our scenario, grab the information and bring it back. And then scenario 1 is basically just this function. So if I show you in this one, this is scenario 1, how we can have this form at the bottom, give an email, give an image, and some feelings, and upload something, and then come back and present here. That's scenario 1. And scenario 2 is going to be our cool, funny web app application. Awesome. So let's actually begin with the Make scenario. So we're going to come over here. This one is our body fat percentage. So
actually, I realized that why not film the session while I solve the problems, and while I build my SaaS. Let's go sassing around.
Publish updates like so, and let's go and review the page by clicking over here.
Publish, Yahoo. Open a new tab, Yahoo. Hey, Yahoo, hey, Yahoo, hey, Yahoo. Oh, hey. yo, yo,
here to open a new tab. So let's go to our automation. Let's unlink these. Let's delete this guy. Okay, cool. Now it is actually this automation that we need. Okay, cool. Our computer vision one. Awesome, right. So we're gonna run this guy once. That's fine. Click OK. We determine data structure. So we go into the page, load your body. That we need. Okay, cool. Let's unlink these. Let's delete this guy. Okay, cool. Now it is actually this automation that we need. Okay, cool. Our computer vision one. Awesome, right. So we're gonna run this guy once. That's fine. Click OK. We determine data structure. So we go into the page, load your body fat the smart way, things are loading nice and right, and we've got submit your photo. Cool, so let's do that, right? Let's go for Jack. My feelings, my week was great. I never get to upload an image, so I'm gonna upload a random image of Arnie. Okay, cool. Arnie is officially been uploaded, and then we click submit. Cool, and we get nice success image, success notification. Then we come back over to our thing. We've got successfully determined, so let's do OK. Let's run this one more time. come back over, and let's do the same thing again. Jack. My week was great. Another image, incredible. And we submit this one, and we come back over now to it. And as you can see, guys, client question, my week was great. Client image, page and section. Ignore the page and section, that's not really relevant. And it hasn't included the email address, so let's just make sure that we're sending that one over. So instead of name, I'm just going to replace that with the email address that's come down. Where is that name? Cool. Just say map to email. And then your email. And address with a cool little email emoji for good measure. Awesome, cool. Publish this one here, publish updates, come over to our preview page. Let's refresh the page, and here you can see the app has been updated, refreshed, split exchanges, so we hit that one there, for example. Incredible. We scroll down. Now let's do this one. So we'll call this one Jack at outlook.com. My feelings, same as last time. My week was great, and then upload the physique. Awesome. Now you'll see this scenario is waiting, like so. So we'll run this one. Obviously for you, it's going to be running automatically, and then we'll click on submit. Awesome, we come back over, and as you can see, guys, that there's my email, there's my client question, and there's my client image. So basically, if I load this into a dashboard, I should see Arnie, and there we go. That is pretty amazing because what we've done, see Arnie as my client image. So basically, if I load this into a dashboard, I should see Arnie. And there we go. That is pretty amazing because what we've done is we've enabled the user of our services, our SaaS, to upload images, to upload files, to upload text, to upload basically whatever you want, and we get it into Make. And remember guys, once we get it into Make, we can do absolutely anything that we want. So guys, the first thing we want to do is come here and click the plus button and search for HTTP, which will basically enable us to select the image. Awesome, client image. Insane. These and then we click okay, brilliant. Now the next thing I want to do is, now I've got the image in our scenario, you can get as complicated or as simple as you want to. You could get custom GPTs that have been trying to get loads of data about images. We could make this 50 steps. You could make it sophisticated. This is going to be
Oh, we're still recording. Yeah, this is so nice. Yeah, this is so easy. Utilizing me voice. Yes, I'm making a new account. Yahoo. Hey, yeah, yahoo, hey, yahoo, me, yahoo, me, yahoo, me, yahoo, me, yahoo, hey.
the bit that is going to distinguish you from using ChatGPT. The question I want you to ask yourself is, what can this do that ChatGPT can't do? And you could build it in a modular way, which means that it goes through 15 filters, each of them ask a certain question, then we consolidate information, feed it back to the client. That's unique, that seems incredible, that seems like something outrageous. So come here, type in vision. I'm going to keep it simple for this one, just so that you, just this video isn't 17 hours. Maybe you want the 17 hours. If I get 17 coffees though, I'll tell you that. Analyzes image vision. Awesome, so what's the prompt that we're going to need? We're going to need the prompt, and I want to give it this prompt here that I've just put in. So look, like this, body fat percentage, X%. This is body fat percentage. You must provide an output. What would your estimate, how would you estimate this person's body fat percentage? You must provide an output like this. Body fat percentage, X%. Commentary, ABC. Just amended that there. You cannot provide a range, you must provide a number. You must output in JSON with no additional characters. For example, this. There's the thing, there's a JSON example, blah, blah, blah. Do not add the word JSON, any apostrophes and quotation marks with your answers. Yeah, it can only begin with this and end with this. If you're trying to cajole a language model to do something and you're finding it's adding additional characters, sometimes a really simple fix is to specify what the beginning of everything must be and the end of everything must be. Now, ordinarily with ChatGPT, we would specify that its output must be in JSON. Unfortunately, in the vision analysis module, it doesn't seem that we can actually specify JSON, which is why I've given it this additional prompt. But with others, like just pure text, that's something that we can look at doing. Now, what do? We're then going to give it the image. So come down to add image URL. Now, let's come here and give it the image URL right here, like so. Client image, and then we're going to select the model, which is going to be GPT-4o, max tokens 300, that's okay, and then we click OK, and then let's just rename this one quickly as once. I'm going to come back over now to our thing. I'm going to give it the same thing, so jack@outlook.com, my week was great, and we click submit. Submit. That's all done, dusted, and complete. Oh my goodness, it's still loading. Come back over to our scenario, webhooks, HTTP, and then we've got vision, and let's see what it says. Body fat percentage, 5%. This person in the image has extreme. Extremely defined muscle groups with very little visible body fat, typical of a professional bodybuilder at peak competition level. Awesome. So it's given us an analysis on our image. So the next thing I want to do is to parse out that JSON. Now the reason I want to parse these two things out, and the reason why I've asked for it in JSON is because in our Airtable, you know, I've got client history here where their email's going to go, their question's going to go, their physique image is going to go, what the AI said, and their body fat percentage. I need to separate out the body fat percentage and the AI advice. So it's in two different columns so that I can show it as two different things in the application itself. Now you can do that with multiple AIs, but this is just a cool little hack, and if you've not used this before and it'll be something that you might find of value. So what I want you to do is come here, for example, type in JSON parser like that, JSON parser. The JSON string is just simply the result from the last module, like so. And click on data structure, click on generate, and it asks for some sample data. So for that, we're just going to come over here. We're going to copy the results. We're going to come over to JSON, sample data, paste that in there, generate, and then it will basically generate what it thinks it should be, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Then we click save, and then we click. Sample data. For that, we're just going to come over here. We're going to copy, generate from the last module, like so, and click on data structure, click on generate, and it asks for some sample data. So for that, we're just going to come over here. We're going to copy the results. We're going to come over to JSON, sample data, paste that in there, generate, and then it will basically generate what it thinks it should be, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Then we click save, and then we click OK. So let's run this again one more time. To run a scenario once, run anyway, come back over. Let's answer the same information one more time. It was great, image. Then we submit this. We come back over to the scenario, Vision's doing its job, and then JSON will do the beautiful parsing job. And if you look at that, what have we got? Body fat percentage and commentary. Incredible. Now finally guys, what we're going to do is come to add an Airtable module like so. Click on create a record. Now all the records that this creates is going into our second tab. Now we've got two tabs, right? Customers, somebody signs up, they're in the customers tab. Client history, this is where they interact with us. Now if you built, let's say, several pages that do several different AI things, this client history could be body fat history. Then look at a new tab, we could call that one, I don't know, fashion analysis, and so on and so on and so forth. So you have records, and then we can specify in Softer which of those tabs we want to pull back for the analysis. So look, let's pick the base. The base was, what did we call this one? The AI PT, okay? The AI PT, incredible. And then we're gonna pick the second one when it prompts us to do so. So table, come down, we're gonna go for client history. Let that load up, have a rock and roll good time. And then we get to map over everything. Now the reason why I'm grabbing their email is so I can identify who it is and show it back to them in the actual dashboard itself. So click on email. Now for that, we come down to email at the bottom. We've got the question, which is client question. We've got the physique image, add item, click file URL, and for that we can use the client image right there. Now, the reason why I downloaded it, guys, is that some applications that you use will want the image to be downloaded if you want to do various things, just so you know how to actually physically use that. And then we've got the AI advice. So that is going to be commentary from the JSON parser. As you can see, but now exists as two separate things rather than one result. And then body fat percentage here, like so. And then we're going to click on OK. Now the final test is repeat it one more time. So run this again, come back over, the exact same thing one final time. And if it feels like we're testing it a lot, that's okay, just means that it works. And then we do submit once we've got the image. We come back over, wait for it to land in a webhook, and then our magic computer vision technology thing will begin. This is the girliest water bottle I've ever bought, honestly. It's like, I lost my other one, so like, I'm gonna parade around with a purple one now. So we come over now, and we should see, this is the girliest water bottle I've ever bought, honestly. It's like, I lost my other one, so like, I'm gonna parade around with a purple one now. So we come over now, and we should see if this has worked successfully. In our client history, the information, but has it appeared? Oh my goodness, it doesn't even seem to be there. So let's just refresh it. And there we go. For a second, did you doubt? hopefully you didn't doubt. Now look, what's really cool about that, I can click on the image and there's on it, awesome. And this is basically our repository for everything that we want, which I think is so cool. Now, what's gonna happen, okay? So now we've actually developed the quote unquote technology of the brains of the operation. What I wanna show you now is how we then display that to the client in the dashboard. Now, once you pick up these skills I'm showing you, they're configured, it's like Lego blocks, okay? You learn it and then you'll be able to add your own little things. And I want you to see this video as really my attempt to kind of give you the structure. You build on the shoulders, but I show you some building blocks, some things I think are pretty cool, and then you can run a million miles with this. But these are just some cool little features I think you'll find are valuable. So I'm now logged into our application as Bing 77. Why have I done that? Well, let me show you. I'm gonna give some sample data, okay? So I've got Bing 77, outlook.com. I'm gonna do the same thing again here, like how could my week have been improved? Like so, AI advice, do more, lazy guy. And let's just say this one is 10% body fat. I'm just gonna load a random image. So for instance, now I've uploaded this file manually. In reality, guys, you're not going to do that because everything happens automatically, but I've done this just to show you, get some sample dummy data so that we can see in our application. So let's come back to our website, our page here. Now, what do? We want the user to be able to see all of their history, right? Because like, you know, I started 4 weeks ago, but like, you know, what do I look like now compared to 4 weeks ago? I want to show that in a visually engaging way. So I click on plus. I'm going to click on this list with vertical cards section. Awesome. This is really, I want to show that in a visually engaging way. So I click on plus. I'm going to click on this list with vertical card section. Awesome, this is really cool. Now what I want it to do is to display the data that we've got in Airtable. So let's have a little think about that. And the first thing it asks us here is source. So I click on source, I click on Airtable, okay? Now select the base, it's gonna be AI, the AI PT. And again, different pages, different bases. This is how cool it is. And I click on client history, like so, all right? I'm gonna meet this one down. Now, what's important here? What's important here? This is how cool it is. And I click on client history, like so, all right? I'm gonna meet this one down. Now, what's important here? What's important here is that you, let's say you're Bing 77, okay? I only want you to see the images and the data that are relevant for you. So if I'm a different client, I don't need to see someone else's, I need to see me. So to achieve that, what do? We need to add basically an if this then that statement, okay? So then we want to add this condition, okay? So say add condition, saying if, okay, the email is the same as logged in users email they can see it. So in other words then, only if the email is the same, they'll actually see the images, and that's how we get to be slightly different and slightly bespoke. So that's cool. And then we've got the content, so we can remove loads of stuff that we're not interested in this, for example. So let's start basically making some cuts and chipping and chopping some stuff. So let's see, what is this text? So we can hide it and see what it does and what's relevant. The text we do want, the email we do want to show. The divider, I'm not so interested in dividers, so let's just hide. back for a second. This text, let's get rid of that. This tags, I don't think we really need the tags, to be honest with you. Let's add a field. What we want to add is a text field, and that text field should be the body fat percentage, right? Awesome. And the label is your body fat with a fire emoji. How cool is that? Then add field, another text. Again, text, content is going to be AI advice, and the label fire emoji. How cool is that? Then add field, another text. Again, text, content is going to be AI advice, and the label will be AI advice. Oh, actually, we've got your PT advice. Or AIP. Actually, just call it your advice, yeah. I'm getting too in detail. Advice with a little brain emoji. Okay, awesome. And you can see right there, your body fat, 5%, your advice, or it could be, well, you know, you can substitute what these different things are, but ultimately that's like absolutely fine. And then I've got a little bit of random text here. It says single line short text. I'm not sure where that's coming from. It's probably this. Awesome, cool, that's gone. Now I want to get rid of this add record thing, because we're going to add records by a title, so we don't really need that. Let's see if we can find that one. See more. Basically, that will suppress the numbers and the volumes that you get. So if you want to see more, you can click that. You can get rid of that and just show all of them. That's kind of more of a stylistic thing. So come down to source. That's all fine, excellent, and it's going to be within content. So item fields, I'm happy with that. Let's go down. And then we've got filters. So come down to all categories, delete. And then we've got filters, so come down to all categories, delete, filters. And again, you could use the filters if you wish, if you've got things you want to filter by, which I think is really cool actually. It's like another little extra bell and whistle that we like. See more is fine. And then search bar, I'm just going to toggle that off because we don't need that. And finally, we just want to remove the add record section as well, which is going to be in actions, add record, and we're going to delete that for the purposes of this video. Which is going to be in actions, add record, and we're going to delete that for the purposes of this video. Cool, so we've got these two beautiful things here. This is going to show all of our clients' uploads and stuff visible for what we have there. So I'm going to click publish like so. Okay, and then what we're going to do is just test that actually only that individual can see it. Okay, so here I'm previewing this as Bing Bing 77, so I can see Bing Bing 77's physiques. But if I preview it as Matt Flowers, do we see the physiques? Well, we shouldn't do, because Matt Flowers is not on there. And look, no results found. So there you go, very specific for that individual, which is excellent. So guys, taking a step back, you've basically built the entire page, the hard bit, the functionality bit. Now I think let's go back to our checklist and see what we need to look at next. So the scenario we need to finish, we've done the computer vision. We now want to do the AI graph application and how that's going to physically work. And then once we've done that, we're going to come back to Softer, we're going to get the payment subscription set up, and then finally basically our P's and Q's and make sure that everything's exactly where we want it to be. Now guys, this is basically the AI web application thing. So this is going to differ wildly based on the kind of web app that you want to develop. So just for your skills and knowledge, I guess I'll show you what it looks like and what this requires. So when you're building this with Claude or ChatGPT or model of preference, essentially what you'll say is, look, I'm going to send you information in a specified format. So you can say to Claude, look, what format do you want the data in? So for example, if I show you the one that I built earlier, if I can find that, where did I build that? Okay, it's over here. Look, if I come down to client history, can you see the body fat percentage? It's 24.1, 23.4, 23.1, right? So check this out. If I come over, can you see this here is the format. So one denotes the day that you created it, and then it's the body fat percentage. And then this data gets sent back over to this. So based on the data or the thing you want to create, you're going to specify a way that you're going to actually get the data in the format, and then the webhook will be able to translate that into this particular design. If that sounds complicated, don't worry, I promise it'll make sense in just a second. So the way that we end up doing that, by the way, is we can control it and make sure that we have this webhook readiness module, which is just basically ChatGPT saying, hey, take this data, put it in this format, and then it will present slightly differently for the user. Okay, so this is what we're going to build now. Webhooks, we're going to do a search on Airtable. So basically what happens here, I'm really zoomed in here, aren't I? Oh my goodness. I am insanely zoomed into this. This is absolutely crazy. We get the email from the webhook, which is great, which is jasonbourne@outlook.com. Why are we getting that email? Well, because in this application we're building, I've just said, hey, you want to check your body fat percentage tracker? Just give us your email. We could also give them a secret client ID or a secret password or something unique to the individual so that they're the only ones that can access it. But just for simplicity, I've said give their email. So the user experience is, look, I want to see my body fat percent tracker. They type in their email. That email then goes to the scenario, the webhook grabs it, Airtable then will search our base for that email and will pull through their body fat percentage and the day that they submitted it. Once it's got that information, we aggregate it, and then we get ChatGPT to basically change the format of it, and then we send it straight back over to the application. application. And when it does that, that's how we end up with our really cool design. So let's build this one together, and hopefully that will make good sense for you. So we've got the email from the webhook, which is jasonbourne@outlook.com. Now we come over to Airtable. You click on search records. So this is going to search our database, and you'll use a variety of functions like searching and adding and that sort of stuff with your database. So the base I'm really looking for here is going to be AIPT, like so. Awesome. I'm going to let this guy up. What's the table? Table's going to be client history, and then we're going to enter in a formula, okay? Now the formula is basically going to say, look, I only want you to bring back records that match this particular email, okay? So look, I click on view, don't need to worry about that. The information I'm interested in for this particular app really is the body fat percentage and also the created time. So when did they submit their image, and what was the body fat percentage they told us, so that I can actually display it in a graph. Again, these variables will be different for you or whatever application that you want. And then we've got formula. So look, I've said email equals client ID. Get rid of this, put this client ID. Now you see this, that is and then we've got formula. They submit their image, and what was the body fat percentage they told us, so that I can actually display it in a graph. Again, these variables will be different for you or whatever application that you want. And then we've got formula. So look, I've said email equals client ID. Get rid of this, put this client ID. Now you see this, that is referring to, where is it, client history, this. So whatever you call this field is what you need to replace that with, okay? So just make sure it's the same. If you call it something else, it's fine, and the formulas work exactly the same manner. So I've just said, look, email, when the email equals this, bring back those particular things. Now I want you to do one other thing as well. I'm gonna come down and click on show advanced settings. Let's come up and have a look. We're gonna sort field. Yeah, so basically I wanted to do it in chronological order. So I just got created time ascending. This basically means it will show me them as they came out. So I want the earliest first going down to the latest, and then we're going to click OK. And that is pretty good news. So we're going to run this scenario once, for instance. So click on run once. Let's go over to our scenario. Let's just preview this page. Now, if I check what's the email we've got Bing Bing 77. Run once. Let's go over to our scenario.